All right, so we're on the final scene of Antigone, which is scene 5. It's page 1052 in your packet. And I'm going to do this in a 2-part video because it's a lot of reading. So we have Teiresias, the blind prophet, and Crean in the first part. And then I'll stop the video, and in the next one, you will hear the messenger come in the Teiresias, and then Crean. All right, so Teiresias comes to advise Crean on his actions in terms of leaving the body unburied and also sentencing Antigone to death. Now, in ancient Greece, Teiresias was absolutely respected, and his advice should be taken really by anybody because he was a prophet that kind of spoke on behalf of the gods. So scene 5, page 1052. Enter blind Teiresias led by a boy. The opening speeches of Teiresias should be in a sing-song contrast to the realistic lines of Crean. This is the new way the blind man comes, princes, princes, lockstep, 2 heads lit by the eyes of one. What new thing have you to tell us, old Teiresias? I have much to tell you. Listen to the prophet, Crean. I am not aware that I have ever failed to listen. Then you have done wisely, king, and ruled well. I admit my debt to you, but what have you to say? This, Crean, and you should stand once more on the edge of fate. What do you mean? Your words are a kind of dread. Listen, Crean. I was sitting in my chair of augury at the place where the birds gather about me. They were all a chatter, as is their habit, when suddenly I heard a strange note in their jangling, a scream, a whirring fury. I knew that they were fighting, tearing each other, dying in a whirlwind of wings crashing, and I was afraid. I began the rites of burnt offering at the altar, but Hephaestus failed me. Instead of bright flame, there was only sputtering slime of the fat thigh flesh melting. The entrails dissolved in gray smoke. The bare bone burst from the welter, and no blaze. This was a sign from heaven. My boy described it, seeing for me as I see for others. I tell you, Crean, you yourself have brought this new calamity upon us. Our hearths and altars are stained with the corruption of dogs and carrion birds that glut themselves on the corpse of Oedipus's son. The gods are deaf when we pray to them. Their fire recoils from our offering. Their birds of omen have no cry of comfort, for they are gorged with the thick blood of the dead. O my son, these are no trifles. Think! All men make mistakes, but a good man yields when he knows his course is wrong and repairs the evil. The only crime is pride. Give in to the dead man, then. Do not fight with a corpse. What glory is it to kill a man who is dead? Think, I beg you, it is for your own good that I speak as I do. You should be able to yield for your own good. It seems that prophets have made me their special province. All my life long I've been the kind of butt for the evil dull arrows of doddering fortune-tellers. No, Teiresias, if your birds, or if the great eagles of God himself, should carry him, Polynices, stinking, bit by bit, to heaven, I would not yield. I am not afraid of pollution. No man can defile the gods. Do what you will. Go into business and make your money. Speculate in India gold or that synthetic gold from Sardis. Get rich otherwise than by my consent to bury him. Teiresias, it is a sorry thing when a wise man sells his wisdom, lets out his words for hire. Ah, Creon, is there no man left in the world? To do what? Come, let's have the aphorism. No man who knows that wisdom outweighs any wealth. As surely as bribes are baser than any baseness. You are sick, Creon. You are deathly sick. As you say, it is not my place to challenge a prophet. Yet you have said my prophecy is for sale. The generation of prophets has always loved gold. The generations of kings has always loved brass. You forget yourself. You are speaking to your king. I know it, and you are king because of me. You have a certain skill, but you have sold out. King, you will drive me to words that... Say them, say them. Only remember, I will not pay you for them. No, you will find them too costly. No doubt. Speak. Whatever you say, you will not change my will. Then take this, and take it to heart. The time is not far off when you shall pay back corpse for corpse, flesh of your own flesh. You have thrust the child of this world into living night. You have kept the gods below the child that is theirs. The one in the grave before her death, the other dead denied the grave. This is your crime, and the furies and dark gods of hell are swift with terrible punishment for you. Do you want to buy me now, Creon? Not many days in your house shall be full of men and women weeping, and curses will be hurled at you from afar. Cities grieving for sons unburied, left to rot before the walls of Thebes. These are my arrows, Creon, and they are all for you. But come, child, lead me home. Let him waste his fine anger on younger men. Maybe he will learn at last to control a wiser tongue and a better head. Exit Teiresias. Caracas. The old man has gone, king, but his words remain to plague us. I am old too, but I cannot remember that he was ever false. That is true. It troubles me. Oh, it is hard to give in, but it is worse to risk everything for stubborn pride. Creon, take my advice. What shall I do? Go quickly, free Antigone from her vault, and build a tomb for the body of Polynices. You would have me do this? Creon, yes, and it must be done at once. God moves swiftly to cancel the folly of stubborn men. It is hard to deny the heart, but I will do it. I will not fight with destiny. You must go yourself. You cannot leave it to others. I will go. Bring axes, servants. Come with me to the tomb. I buried her. I will set her free. Oh, quickly! My mind misgives. The laws of the gods are mighty, and a man must serve them to the last day of his life. Exit Creon. So Creon's incredibly rude to Teiresias when Teiresias warns him of all these bad omens, right? That the birds are attacking each other, that the offering he's trying to give the gods is disdained, it won't light on fire. These are all signs that the gods are angry, and Teiresias can read these signs and interpret what they mean. And he's trying to tell Creon, you've gone too far. You have to bury that body, and you have to take Antigone out of that vault. That's not your place to take her life. And Creon accuses Teiresias of being bribed to tell these prophecies, which is incredibly, incredibly disrespectful. Like I said before, Teiresias is very well known. He's never ever wrong. So after insulting Teiresias, he leaves. And then the Carragus, the elder of Thebes, steps in and talks to Creon and kind of talks some sense into him. And he's like, I've never heard, ever, Teiresias be wrong. You should listen to him. And this is a huge moment for Creon. Creon recognizes for the first time that he was wrong. And he's like, I have to let go of being stubborn. I have to obey the gods. And he's rushing out with a bunch of servants to the tomb of Antigone. And he's going to bury the body. So he's decided to follow Teiresias' advice. And he leaves with that group of people to fulfill what Teiresias suggests. Okay. So on 1056, there's a prayer. Okay. God of many names, O Ichus, son of Cadmean Semele, O born of the thunder, guardian of the west, regent of Ulysses' plain, O prince of Maenad Thebes, in dragon fields by the ripping Ismenus, God of many names, the flame of torches flares on our hills, the nymphs of Ichus dance at the spring of Castilia. From the vine-close mountains, come, come in ivy, evoke, evoke, sing through the streets of Thebes. God of many names, Ichus of Thebes, heavenly child, O Semele, bride of Thunderer, the shadow of the plague is upon us, come with clement feet. O come from Parnassus, down the long slopes, across the lamenting water. Io fire, chorister of the throbbing stars, O purest among the voices of the night, thou Son of God, blaze for us. Come with choric rapture of the circling Maenads, who cry, Ioke, God of many names. So this explains on the side that it's a hymn appealing to the gods for assistance. In this prayer, the chorus praises Dionysus or Ichus and calls on him to come to Thebes to show mercy and drive out the evil. And then it just kind of gives you some more of the background information on what that prayer is about. So clearly Thebes is freaked out. They know that the gods are angry and they're trying to get other gods to help them out and kind of forgive the sins that have been committed in Thebes. So in the next video, I'll read the end of the play.